How's it going, everybody? My name is Jim, and welcome to FSD Driver. Today, we're driving in 12.5.4.2 on a Hardware 3 Model 3. This is a rear-wheel drive vehicle. It is nighttime. It is snowing out. The roads are wet. They're kind of slippery, but there's plenty of salt on the roads. We are in Minnesota, and in today's video, I really wanted to talk about something that is going to affect everybody if this starts to pass. So, there is a new bill in Washington. So in Washington state, or the state of Washington, there is a Senate bill. It is called SB 5377. You might be wondering, what is this bill? Well, this bill is an attack not just on Tesla, but also on other EV makers, especially new EV makers. And what does it do? Well, it benefits legacy auto. And so, what they're trying to do is they're trying to stop this push of how we do new things in the world. So, what does it mean? Well, it basically means that Tesla will no longer be allowed to sell cars directly to the consumer. So, you would actually have to drive to a different state that allows this. So, imagine you wanting to order a Tesla, and then your state says, "Hey, man, you can't order a new Tesla here. You actually need to go out of state and purchase that Tesla." And then you have to go through all this registration. What does that do to you as a consumer? Well, it makes the price of everything go up. It also makes you have to travel everywhere to get your vehicle. So, if this passes in one state, you can assure it's going to start passing in other states, especially states where there's legacy auto around, which is almost in every single state. Now, Tesla also does manufacturing. Now, what is manufacturing? We think of this as, oh, we're producing something, but manufacturing actually goes a little bit wider. Imagine if you're driving in a Tesla and you get a fender bender, or somebody bumps into your bumper and cracks it, or something minor happens to your vehicle. Well, in this bill, what that will do is it actually restricts the service centers from manufacturing. So that means that you can't get your car fixed in those service centers. That means they need to send your car out to a state that allows your car to get fixed in, which costs more time and money to you, the end user. But what does this do? It favors the traditional dealership. So Ford, GM, they're also selling EVs, but they're selling gas cars as well. And they are not affected by this bill. They can still operate, they can still sell directly to customers. So, this is why it's an unfair bill. It basically makes legacy auto continue. It gets rid of the new automakers. And again, I like to talk about Tesla, but this will affect Rivian. If you are a Rivian owner, guess what? You're included in this bill. You can no longer buy a Rivian. You can't get it fixed in states. And again, I'm in Minnesota. This bill does not affect me, but if this bill does pass in Washington, I can bet my bottom dollar that this bill will come to Minnesota, because nobody likes Elon Musk and they don't like Tesla, and they want to keep legacy auto around as much as they can. So, I don't like this bill. I don't like legacy auto, and I want to get into why I'm doing this on this video. I'm actually driving this Model 3, or it's driving itself, to the Tesla service center because I am doing a trade-in for a used Tesla at Tesla. Now, if this bill were to pass, this could never happen. It would actually cost me a lot of time and a lot of money, and the price of things would actually go up. Now, if I wanted to do this, though, with a Ford at a Ford dealership or any other dealership, this would be fine. Do you see the disparity there? It's not a fair bill. So, I've bought in Teslas every way you can buy a Tesla. I bought it new through Tesla. I bought it through a third party person. I bought it through a dealership, a legacy dealership, and I've bought a used one through Tesla as well. And I can tell you, out of the 4 ways that I purchased a Tesla, the legacy auto way sucked. It was an awful experience. It was a lot of sitting, wasting time, trying to barter back and forth, trying to find somebody who can take a loan out, running my credit multiple times. It's just a bad way of doing things. And it's all in my local area. There's no other way to do it. I might want to buy a car in California and I can't do that. And there's all these fees and it's just not good. I don't like the old way of doing things. Also, the phrase I cannot stand when a salesperson says, "Let me go talk to my manager," and they go behind this glass door and they're just sitting in there talking about football and nothing's happening. And then they come out and they're, "Oh, we could drop it 500, but we can't go 1,000 or 2,000 more." Like, that's insane. All of this needs to die. All of this legacy auto needs to die, especially for the younger generations. We do everything on our phones, and Tesla knows that. And Tesla is very great at doing what they do. So let me explain the 4 ways I've bought in cars. 1, I bought a new car through the Tesla app from Tesla. It took 15 minutes to upload my documentation, to apply for a loan, and then to get the delivery and accept that vehicle. Now, I didn't accept that vehicle because I probably shouldn't have bought the vehicle. I wanted an all-wheel drive, but I relied on just the low cost and it was a rear-wheel drive. So when I went to accept the vehicle, I just denied it. The only thing I lost in all of this was I lost 15 minutes of my time and 250 non-refundable dollars to capture that sale, right? No big deal. The second way I did it is I purchased a Tesla Model Y through a private seller. Now, this interaction could be extremely different for every single use case. I found a seller that was nice and he let me bring it to a Tesla service center and run a diagnostic on the car out of my pocket. It was $125. Tesla said the vehicle was fine, so I purchased it from this gentleman. It was a great experience, but it still took a long time. We still had to go to a DMV. We still had to check out paperwork. He actually owed something on the car, so he had to go to a bank and pay it off quickly before I could give him the money for the vehicle and sign it in my name. So it took time. The third way I purchased a vehicle was I bought it from a legacy automaker, and it sucked. I went in, I had to barter, I had to sit there for a long time, and you might say, "Hey, bartering's good. It gets it for a lower price." It doesn't. It never does. It never favors you. Even if they lower the price, that just means to me that the car was overpriced to begin with, and now I have to waste more time. So that was awful. It took me several hours and actual days to get a Model 3 from Ford. And nobody knew anything. I was the smartest person there. I hate to say that, but I was the smartest person there. They did not know anything. And they tried to get me out of my car into a Mustang Mach-E, which I didn't want. And I told them that at the start, but they kept trying. They kept trying and trying. And then I was like, "Dude, I'm not doing it. I came for this car, nothing else. Don't try to upsell me." It was nightmare. And that's what legacy auto is. Now, today, what I did is I ordered a Tesla Model Y from Tesla's used inventory site. Now, there are incentives, things like that you can get on a car from Tesla, but there is no bartering. Tesla sets their inventory prices and you either accept it or you don't accept it. Now, if there's a vehicle you want, and again, inventory everywhere changes all the time. If there's a vehicle you want, you can set a filter to what you want. And then once that filter is set, if you find the car you want, it will tell you everything. It won't have hidden cost. It won't have hidden fees. It will give you an itemized line item of what you're paying for. Now with this one, I did a trade. So I literally did all of this in 15 minutes. 1, because I had all my paperwork ready. 2, my car was already paid off. I didn't need to wait on anything. I had the title and I had the lien signed off from whoever my lender was at the time that I paid for the car and I took ownership of it and it's in my name. But all I had to do was go on there. I found my car. I put $500 on the new car, which basically takes it out of inventory. It lets Tesla know somebody bought this car. We're just waiting for their paperwork to come through. And all I had to do was take pictures of my license, tax, title, registration, insurance. I sent all those over. That took literally 2 minutes to do. It was then approved. I didn't have to sit and wait or do anything. I just went on with my day, and then I got a message. You've been approved, or we accepted this. We accepted this. They gave me a trade estimate. It took 5 minutes. Somebody messaged me from Tesla and said, just send us a picture. We didn't get the back of your car. Just send us a quick picture with your phone. Took the picture, sent the picture. Hey, okay, this is what we approved the trade to. This is what we actually think it is. You can either accept or deny it. You get 3 days. Okay, so for 3 days, I accepted the trade. Everything went through. Again, 15 minutes all through an app. I didn't really need to talk to anybody. There was no phone calls. There was one message through the app from a service advisor who just said we couldn't see the back of the car because the picture you sent was like blurry. And it was my fault. So I sent them a second one. Everything was fine. I accepted the trade online. I uploaded everything. And then they asked, hey, do you want financing? It asked it right through the app. There's 8 steps. The whole step process takes 5 minutes, maybe another 5 minutes if there's something wrong with your paperwork. And then when you go accept the vehicle, it takes less than 2 minutes to basically sign your name off on everything, hand them the paperwork for your trade-in, they hand you back the paperwork that you sign that you're accepting the new car, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. And then you drive away in your car. That is what I want to see going forward. But with this SB 5377 bill in Washington, that crushes all of that stuff. It also crushes the experience of getting your car fixed. Now, here's the thing. I've gotten my older Teslas fixed. I once got angry and slammed the tailgate and bent some of the things on it so the hatch wasn't closing right. My fault. I was in a hurry. I was stressed. I slammed it down. And in doing so, I bent one of the hitch, whatever you call it. All I did was I went on the app. I scheduled a service appointment. They said it was going to take a day to get fixed. I drove to Tesla. They already added a loaner vehicle in my app. I walked in, I grabbed the key. I didn't even say hi to anybody. I walked out. I drove that vehicle, got a notification that my car has been fixed. Please pick it up at any time, even if it was at midnight, 1 a.m. All I had to do was drive their vehicle back. I dropped the key off there and I walked in and opened my car door because it was already tied to my phone. And then I drove away with a car that was fixed. I had no interaction. I had no upsell. They didn't say, hey, we noticed that this was going out or this was wrong. Or, hey, do you want us to do an oil change? Do you want us to do a tire rotation? They didn't ask that. I asked for the one thing I wanted to get fixed. Now, if there was other alerts or something, they would probably notify me. Hey, we noticed that these other things were here. Do you want us to fix those, or do you want to reschedule a different appointment? And this is all done through the app, through the messaging. It's not a phone call. It's not an upsell. It's so simple and it's so easy. And this is the way it should work for everybody. This is the way it should work for Legacy Auto. They should just set it up exactly the same. Now, they're only halfway there. Okay, so Legacy Auto, I mentioned this, that they're halfway there. It's because they have a website. They list their inventory. They just want you to come in to barter and talk and try to get more money out of you and for you to take a loan out through them and all of this nonsense. Do you want a warranty? Do you want extra things? With a Tesla, they just give you the warranty. You get an extra year or 10,000 miles of warranty. Your battery gets another year or 120,000 miles of warranty. There's no upsell. There's nothing there. Actually, when I bought my car from Ford, they tried to sell me a package for warranty, which included oil changes and tire rotations and all this other stuff that didn't even apply to my vehicle. I can't get an oil change in a Tesla. I can get free tire rotations at Discount Tires. I don't need wheel alignment. I don't need headlight alignment. The car does it itself. Like, I don't understand why anybody would even bring this bill unless they're getting paid or they're trying to protect legacy auto. But legacy auto, in my mind, it needs to go away. They need to change their ways. Tesla found a better way and it works. And just because they can't take the extra step to do this, it's on them. It's their fault. If they want to stay static and go out of business, that's their call. They can do that. They can go out of business right now. Now, if I was a dealership owner and I knew my car was worth, 8,000 and I wanted to profit too, I would just sell it for 10. And then if somebody came along and wanted to barter, I would just say, dude, prices are set in the app. Like, that's what it is. We're not going to barter. Like, if you have 10,000, you want to pay 10, then buy it. If you don't buy it. But I'm going to make $2,000 profit off of this, and I'm not budging. And I'm not going to upsell you on anything. Maybe I'll just put in there, hey, if you want a warranty, it's going to cost $2,400 extra dollars. Either check the box or don't check the box. But if you don't check the box and something happens, it's on you. You didn't pay for it. Done. There's no discussion. There's nothing. There's no waste of time. Okay. And that's the way it could be. But Legacy Auto doesn't want that. They want to try to sucker people into higher sales, getting them into a different car. Nobody wants to do that. Young kids don't do that anymore. They're on a phone. They use apps. They pay through cards. They run reports electronically. They don't want to sit anymore. So, SB 5377, if you're in Washington State, call your legislator, crush this bill. We do not want this to spread through the US. It is not a fair bill. It hinders Tesla, it hinders Lucid, it hinders Rivian, all because legacy automakers don't want to catch up to them or don't want to put any money towards updating the methods that are legacy. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.